welcome back from the lunch. I hope everyone is self-aware of the lunch coma that is coming just around the corner. So be self-aware, fight it, because on stage right now we have our second keynote speaker of the day with a very nice last name, Mr. Neis. So Pierre is about to tell us about 12 steps of an agile transformation.
Is it working?
Pierre,
oh my God.
Take it away. Round of applause for Pierre.
Thank you. Welcome in the, in the napping session. Have you lunch well? So 12 steps. Is that trippy as name? 12 steps is like me as Moses. This is way too loud here. Oh, anyways. Like Moses, here are the rules. It's not the rules. They are not the rules. What we're explaining here is what it is. So just to, can we go to the next slide? I'm able to. Ooh. Okay. I have to make a confession. AT, Agile Tour, inspired me. Because I was setting up Agile Tour in Luxembourg a long time ago, and I met Peter Stevens, which is the next speaker there, which has become a close friend, a colleague. Now let's say we are doing Agile. Okay, following sometimes what he's saying. But Agile Tour is also the way you bring Agile everywhere. So I create something else. I create something where it is called Play 14. I'm one of the co-founders. And Play 14 is like the Agile Tour, is 2.5-day serious games gathering. This is running since 2013 because we started in 2014. So it's a couple of years, running everywhere in the world, and it's about bringing facilitation techniques to the people like the Agile Tour. But when we started first with a couple of cities here in Western Europe, it was quite easy. We created the association, the group, a non-profit organization in Luxembourg with all the funding, with all the insurance things, blah, blah, blah. It worked well. But when Play 14 ran out the roof, like in Kuala Lumpur, in Beirut, in Mexico, or maybe in Sydney, Australia, it was way more complicated. And we say, we have to do something else. It means we have to do less. We have to give control and to empower every city to organize themselves. And this was my first experience of a method, not a methodology, a method I call AO, like Agile Organization. And this will be the 12th step to get there. It will be a tool to help you to understand where to go. First question. I gave a workshop and a talk, and I work a lot in the Middle East. One guy came to me, hey, Pierre, what's coming after Agile? I say, I don't know. Who knows what's coming after Agile? More Agile, that's good. Because, say, if we understand, we want to know what is coming after, we should define Agile. And then I asked the question in the community, and what kind of Agile is your Agile? And then I have a creepy answers like, oh, it's what is in the Agile Manifesto. Then you have people from the lean manufacturing. No, it's an evolution of lean manufacturing. Complete different things. I use this question every time with my customers because I'm not a full-time speaker. I'm a full-time Agile coach working in big groups with my teams from everywhere in the world. So usually when it smells like mess, Pierre, can you come help us? And this is how it works. And this is all 10 years of research because I'm usually coming from the lean part. And then I'm jumping 15 years ago into Agile and about defining what's Agile. And today I will explain you what, in my sense, Agile means, how it looks like when it's complete, so you can do better Agile, not more Agile. What means Agile done? What means we are Agile? If I take a look about close to 22 years of Agile Manifesto, none of the company I see are Agile. You apply maybe some methodologies, but are you Agile? Not really. So I want to define what it is. And also when you come to help to transform a company, you say, and how much Agile is enough for us, what not. So I create something here, Agile System Dynamics. Because for me, my assumption, my thesis is, Agile is the individuals and interaction part of the manifesto, is how people are interacting together. If you make a metaphor, you have a nest, and in this nest you have a couple of birds, and one bird is orange, it means one bird is agile. It doesn't mean that the whole nest is agile. It doesn't mean that you're all agile. Even if all the birds are orange, it doesn't mean they're speaking everything, like the same thing. But if my nest is orange, it doesn't matter if you're agile or not agile. How you're behaving together is what we call agile. And this is my angle of today's talk. Agile system dynamics, it's based off something called Kinevin. Who knows Kinevin? Right? So Kinevin is something quite interesting. Dave Snowden created this, who has to be another way to understand. He tried to explain a complex system through it about a situation. But it's a small kind topic that you're not taught is about dynamics of people in it. Because you have, say, complex is the unknown, complicated is some kind of relationship, simple chaos, and what is not defined is what we call disorder. I don't go deep here, just to understand. On one hand, here left is what we call nonlinear system, on the right is linear systems. A linear system is patterns follows, precedes data. I design a pattern, a set of a pattern, and expecting the same data getting out. A nonlinear system is completely the opposite, is we don't know, so we want to collect data, and based on the data, we have emergent patterns. So this is in the complex systems, this is what we are looking for emergence, and how it's getting out each time. And based on this, we can shift. So based on this, it's quite interesting to see that, how we can describe how Agile works. Agile works is starting in a simple question. Simple is, that's the purpose, or it's the goal, that's why we are together. This is why we have a team, or this is why we have an organization. And is the simple idea. Chaos is me as an individual, I have to reflect what is that part of my high dream into your dream, the big purpose. And then we have to interact together to have this kind of co-creation part. It is here on the top here in this part in the complex. And once in a while, we gather together. We are measuring the outcomes, like we do in reviews and retrospective. This is more a complicated review. And then you start again the next sprint, and again and again and again. So if you have this dynamic, which sounds obvious for people doing Scrum, you can understand if you have an expert coming into a sprint, he breaks down this system. Because he breaks down, he brings everything into complicated. Again, if you are here, this is typically your meetings. You're sitting in a meeting, 20 guys, we want to analyze this topic, and you have 20 guys, 20 experts asking my agenda. It means, what are my 5 minutes when I can talk? Because the rest of the time I'm working on my computer or something else. So you have all the experts speaking their own small pieces of activities, and you're expecting having some manager, project manager, consolidating everything together. That's typically a complicated situation. We are interacting together, but we are not building something together. Here is, we are experimenting, and let's see what's coming next. Short term, this is just here. I talk about this because I will use this as a tool. So I lost mostly 98% of the audience here. That's good. But this is a full workshop to explain leadership, how the organization are behaving. Usually they got it quite rapidly. Then we are analyzing, then they don't get it at all because they're just pissed, right? Okay, one thing you have to understand, let's use words. Structure is not organization. That's keyword. So when I started first Scrum training with one of the speakers here, Roman Peschler, he wants to speak maybe tomorrow online. Great one. Tomorrow. Get my CSPO with him. I chose him in 2009, something like this. Great guy. Structure is not organization, it's something we are playing the game of the Scrum. It was at this moment in time, we didn't consider a Scrum Master as a position in the hierarchy. And should not, because it's just creating confusion. This is where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the lean part. I jumped in from the lean to Agile 15 years ago. So I do the things in reverse order. And that's maybe I'm bizarre. This is a talk. Structure is not organization. And I will explain what. Structure, here. Structure is here, is the pyramid. I'm part of a company called Cognizant Digital Solutions. I'm there as a senior manager. So my expectation here is I'm senior manager here. And my next level will be associate director, then to be the king, which is on the top here. This is me in that organization. But at my customers, I'm a PMO, an Agile coach, something here. I'm in this part. I have a different role. Right? So here, the purpose of here is management-driven, many individual initiatives, and this is the focus. This is my career path. This is what I'm talking with HR. It's not what I'm doing. Right? What I'm doing is usually completely different. I saw customers, or maybe, let's say, friends in Belgium that don't have any names and roles at all. If you take a book like Maverick Ricardo Semler, he explained that he removed all the roles from the company. When a customer comes into his room, say, I want to speak to the director, everyone can tell, but it's me, the director. It's not a game. It means everyone is empowered and involved in the company. So we are making two big differences. Structure, me as a senior manager doesn't bring any value to the company. Me as an Agile coach, as a PMO, as a program manager, as a whatever you want, brings the value of the company. It's me interacting in the team that brings the value. It's not here. Here is the power in my role, and there is no customer here. The customer is always there. So we make a big difference between this, what is structure, what is not organization. Make sense? Yes? Quite simple, straightforward. So we have the two parts. So who am I? Shortly here. Awesome picture. So this is officially my names. I'm really happy because I have people with less experience that over me. That's not good for them because I don't care on hierarchy. This is me, Pierre, Ewald, Neis. I'm officially French on the paper. I'm 99% German, and I'm living in Switzerland. Okay, I'm really happy. It's my first time here, so I'm very happy to see you guys. So this is a couple of things. I'll just try to count. I have something like 200 Agile project and transformation in the last 15 years. Because some customers, they don't have one team. They don't have 20 teams. They don't have 200 teams. They have 5,000 teams. So it's global. My teams actually are in Brisbane, Australia, Johannesburg, South Africa, 4 places in India. They are in Chile. They are in Peru, Colombia, Canada, West Coast, East Coast, USA, West Coast, East Coast, London, and Switzerland. So I'm not traveling. I'm working from home. So thank you for putting me out of my cave today to speak with you. Because the rest of the time, I'm in my jog pants, I'm in my sweaters, I'm barefoot with a maybe nice shirt because this is just the image you can show in the video conference system. So the rest, I'm more like you, just happy having the coffee all the time. I can make a nap whenever I want. But sometimes, unfortunately, I can give meetings and talks, like for the PMI New Jersey, talk about life science, 2 a.m. my time in the conference, because I'm also a member of the PMI. I'm also, let's say, to be here, so you're impressed. I'm the officially people management advisor for Discipline Agile of the PMI. Sounds well, means just nothing. It doesn't bring a dime. It's just cool for my ego. And you understand, I'm eccentric, not that much egocentric. I just don't give a damn. Because usually people are so diverse and very interesting. And I create a lot of things. Just Google it, you can see all my egocentric experience, which is quite good. Because I love experimenting. For me, Agile is like cooking, right? Purpose of that talk, going straight forward, giving guidelines to Agile organization and design the alliance with your customer or with our customer. Agile organization is something is in my desk since 10 years, and I'm just waiting the right time to get it out. I guess it's the right time. Organizations start with a team, then you have a team of teams, then do the whole organization, which makes each time a little bit more complicated. In fact, it's not that complicated. Because we want to have more organization, less structure. So if I want to go to here, at this point here, structure, here, organization, or the A and the O, or the alpha and the omega, or you do whatever you want, which is okay for me. It didn't come from me, the alpha and omega. It's more like a German goes, oh, it's like this, or whatever you want. Okay, so how to go from here to there? And this is a language that even non-IT people can understand, right? So how I go from here to there? I want to be agile. Okay, what kind of agile? So here you have big structure, a little bit less structure, a little bit lesser, and here, or here completely crazy agile. Where do you want to go? Oh, I can't understand. Why do you have a bridge? Why do you have a river? Oh, this is the Rubicon. Because if you cross the Rubicon and you jump into the agile world, then you can't go back. So here it is. So having this is here. I have 5 steps. This is what I call agility. This is agile entertainment. This is you keep the mess, you just put agile things. You say, oh, we are agile. You're just doing the same shit you do. Means no change, nothing else. You have to laugh because this is most of my customer, even though my company, right? We're more in this part. But it's quite interesting to say, okay, where do you want to go? You want to be agile, fine. Agile is not the goal. It's maybe a way you can solve another goal. But this is, well, oh, we want to have the implementation of methodology. I don't implement methodology. It just makes no sense. Because you can fix this with your own methodology, that's fine. So we have here agility, first step. Awaken, we start to do things quite right. Then we make it in Rubicon, we make it better. Usually say, I say we can use lean techniques, so we become more disciplined, start knowing things to do. Then we go in, and then we open everything in this IE venture. Venture was more, and here all my teams are behaving like internal startups. And my portfolio is behaving like investors. And I did this with people from digital finance because I just I tested this in a small company, small startup sitting globally and headquartered in Waldorf in Germany. SAP rings a bell. Very small. And they say not only IT, then they say, oh, we want to make digital finance. Okay, fine, what do we want to do? So we want to make it agile. I say, okay. My heart starts beating. So, okay, how many people? 4,000? 4,000 on IT, right? But you go deep to the ground, what do you really want to do? You say, how far do you want to go? You say, okay, what does it mean? When I have the call is CFOs, 80 CFOs in a call, because 81 CFO from every country in the world. To ask you, what is Agile? Agile from your side is, you know we have this rule, you tell it like it is in a meeting. You do it once, right? No 2 times, because you get one and then you have a slap. But Agile means you can tell it like it is every time, and everyone in the meeting can do it. Then you have this kind of, oh right. Yeah. It's complicated, right? Not easy. Then the second part is, think about, you still have your job description, you have your parking, you have your salary, and everything okay. And if I give you some budget to create something that really creates value for the company, or what really matters to you, are you willing to do it? And I have these 80 mid-aged white males, CFOs mostly, behaving like kids. Oh yeah, then we can be entrepreneurs. Say, yes, that's it. And then this is how I got it, and this is the essence. what does mean Agile. And you have companies also in Canada, in Montreal, like La Presse, they're doing most likely this way. And this is very fascinating how it works. Has nothing to do with IT. If you took a look at the Agile Manifesto, tell me where do you find engineering? I would be curious. Okay, so the thing is, for them is, they want to have a goal here in venture, but they know they are here. So let's start step by step of thing. So to measure here is, what are we doing to get there? Usually in Awaken, we are talking about projects. We're talking about real projects, right? A project is a team, a budget. It's not a budget and people jumping around everywhere, and you have 30% here, 10% there. No, 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 no. A team dedicated to a project with tangible measures of budget. If you don't have a project like this, you can't be measurable, then nobody takes you seriously. You have to be able to give a return on investment. That's a good hack. Agile is cashback. It's not investment. You can measure return on investment very, very rapidly. But you have to know it. Rubicon is the way we are doing more like waterfallish way of working, using lean techniques like reducing waste, reducing variability in the system, then it's okay. And then you have to open it. I discovered this through improving lean working by adding Agile values. And they'll get it in a second. And you have these lean guys, now I know how to work. Now I know how to think. That's more complicated because they already have this kind of discipline in there, and then you open it. So we can switch also. So these are the levels. So you have Agility, Awaken, Rubicon, Adventure, and AO. And I have to speed up because I have way too much things to share with you guys. So we have, this is called paradigm shifts. So as a coach, I say, okay, how far do you want to go? What kind of Agile is yours? How far do you want to go? Usually my customers say, I think Rubicon is feasible for us. So that's the goal. Let's go to Rubicon there. And then we can say, okay, this is my Agile, this is the context, this is how the method, how the techniques, or maybe the strategy we will use to get your achievements done. And then you can use whatever methodology you want there, right? But this is how far. Usually if they want to go to Rubicon, you'll be happy if you're in Awaken, right? But if my customer is here, he doesn't know, be sure you'll be stuck here. So you have to have what we call in coaching a high dream. Where do you want to go? How is your Agile look like? How does it look in 1 year? And what happened yesterday? Then you can start the conversation. Also, if you have 2 teams, 1 team, or 5,000 team, same logic. Because with 5,000 team, you never speak to 200,000 people. You always have 5, 6, 7 guys. Same logic, right? Okay, shifting the paradigms. To get there, I create 12 micro steps. So it's not 12 big things, it's 12 small things. And these 12 small things helps you to understand where you are. And if you understand where you are, maybe you're able to move. And you can move forward or backwards. It's okay, right? So here comes the story. So here we have this phase when you have patterns preceding data. So here, typically, as a PMO, Agile PMO, I'm the guy who creates the Gantt charts. Usually, you should say, boo, no? But a Gantt chart is just an expression of a vision. And it gives you the answer to the people who are willing to engage in a team to know at what moment in time they can do the work, they can engage with you. That's the only thing. And this is never written in stone. It's something you can go backwards. So my Gantt charts are evolving all the time. But this in here is, we have data precedes pattern. This is so open that the whole organization already learned how to work. Then we switch here, and we try to open it to having here something what we call an AO. And AO is a company who's working like a platform. Is a platform where people can do buying, selling. It's like your company becomes the Airbnb of companies, right? So you have buyers and sellers, you have project and product, and you have people doing the business as usual or supporting the activities, and you have decision makers. then if you analyze this, like the platform activities, the service activities, I call it business as usual. If I go in your company and I discover that you have more than 60% of the time allocated to business as usual activities, and very less than 30% on innovation and projects, usually you're in very bad shape. And the way to reverse it will make a big change with you. Okay, how to get there to this purpose? It is really the purpose of this talk. This is transformation strategies, or maybe, yeah, strategies. In my mind, a strategy starts, the story is this way. We are having a vision for the whole year, and that vision helps us as a whole to engage all together. And quarterly, I have a senior manager having a strategy to reach that vision. And then we are going back, or we are working with the teams. I say, hey teams, that's the big vision in a year. And this is a strategy, we believe it's okay. Can you find out the tactics? You say, okay, we know where you want to go. We know how to make it. And they're empowered to manage to find the tactics to try to reach your strategy. Not too complicated? Oh, I lost most of you, but nobody is napping. That's good. Okay. Let's start point zero. Default company, we don't know what happened. So for me, by default, I'm like Dr. House. I trust nobody. So I go in a company and say, oh, we are this. I trust nobody. Just want to see it, right? You have to notice. So by default, everything is on zero. It means this is here my organization, the boss, and the people are here. These are line managers. You can name it in chapters, Spotify-ish, whatever. This is just more structure. Makes no sense. Because this, you can ask yourself, does it bring money for the company? This is not bringing money. The money is somewhere else. So we have here roles. You have the customer is this way. This is in red is management, customer in blue. Operations are there, or execution will be the right one. No, we don't know the user, and we don't have a Scrum Master product owner. These are typically dynamics. Conversation at senior level here, manager, is complicated. Experts are talking with experts, or we define, we all agree, then we agree that we disagree. Let's just postpone this meeting to have another meeting to disagree again. That's my daily job. That's why I'm annoying. And you understand, okay, now our plan is so crystal clear. We hand over to our developers in India. They should know what to do because they're smart. In India, you say, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know, right? It's a mess. This can be India, can be Riga, can be Poland, can be everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, but no. Let's say I have a huge respect for my colleague from India. They don't know how to handle the no, and they're not able to tell you that they do not understand because they're polite. So even though Agile thing is, I have to say, I have no clue what you talk about. Right? So this is usually the condition. So in zero, no alignment. Management is in a complicated, it's like I showed before. What is meant by alignment is an agreement. So it's never alignment. It's more, have you signed the contract? Are we okay with this? So I have now an Agile management, and I have an integrator because I manage third parties for the customer, which is non-Agile. That's a nightmare. See, why do you have a fucking 5 minutes just for a change request? It's a nightmare. So usually that's kind of bumps we're having. Operations or execution are in chaos. Everyone is alone, don't know what to do, and expecting doing things, or just working for the sake of working. Not looking for it. There's no shared goal. Supporting individuals, there's no commitment. We're waiting for missions. Parent-child relationship is, oh, sir, I don't know. Ma'am, I don't know what to do. Please tell me what to do. What is my task list of today? Please tell me what to do. So, I'm a manager. I hate. Say, do what you want to do. Just call me when you need, because the good thing, I'm a manager. but my subordinates are neither located in Switzerland, and we are not working on the same project. So I'm really a people manager. In a way, I'm coaching my subordinates, because that's the best case scenario. But usually it doesn't work like this in companies, right? Okay, that's the zero. It was the zero. Number one, first transformation. We have a project manager, but no knowledge of project management. That's 80% of the case, what we see. It's more like this, right? I need somebody who buffers, because he's more like an assistant, or like me. I'm the PMO. It's a fancy name for assistant of the leaders, right? I'm okay with that. And say, oh, can you do this? That's our plan. Make sure it works. So you're in the middle here in a position, and you work with here the senior management, and you try to chase other line managers, and you even maybe sometimes you try to chase people in execution. But you try to make everyone happy, because you're always in this position, you're the dumbass. You're not able to take any decision or whatever, right? So you're officially your project manager, but you don't do project manager, you're just some kind of modern assistant. That's point one. And if it hurts for you, you are allowed to cry here. Because I guess we all have this kind of experience, I have it. So point number two, a project approach. We have a project which is a dedicated team. This is how it looks like. So we have it here. So I have now my project manager. He's still not really working in the team. He's still working here. We still have these line managers. But good fortune, we moved out from what we call structure into we organize the teams together. This is more like a Kanban-ish way when you say, okay, have the team dedicated, and the work flows into a team, not into an individual. It's changed a lot, right? Then you can start having this kind of team thinking. But okay, so we have some kind of, you can see it looks a little bit agile, but it's not really agile, not yet. Point number three, I call it early proto-agile. Like, has a smell of agile, but it's not agility, right? Which is, agility is the fake one, right? It's just for cats and horses, or maybe for dogs and horses. This is how you train horses in England. It's called agility. So, or entertainment. So everything agility means marketing, move away. Okay, early proto-agile. Early proto-agile looks like this. You can see, I have here, this is my project manager. He has now a Scrum Master or an Agile or whatever, but he's interacting here. So you have this level of, we call it this kind of waterfall organization model, you know? So instead of talking directly with the people, Scrum Master is just focusing on the team, and the project manager gives orders. It means here, I'm coming once a week to see what you have done, right? Or maybe I'm in Switzerland, I'm coming to let's say, not Riga, not Vilnius. I'm coming to Vilnius, Riga, to see what have you achieved this week. I want more and faster. Because less is more means I can do more with less people. Okay, that's also quite a reality. And we have in here, and we have still discovered that my project manager gets information from this director, or maybe he becomes maybe the information from the sales department, who becomes the information from whatever God, and the customer doesn't know the team. The customer just speaks with one executive at this level. So we have still here some kind of boundaries between the lines, right? Right? 4, improve proto-agile. Improve proto-agile, okay, now we understand. Now, my project manager, he's able to speak directly with the users. And they're working with the team. And the team and the user are decoupled from the structure, right? At these moments, do something else. This is more like an improved business analyst, UX designer, because you love this, have complicated roles like Scrum Master, product owner, doing also business, and also doing cooking and cleaning and driving and Uber or whatever. This is what you see in job description. Can you do everything, but for less money? Sure. I can give you money. Okay, so this is more like something, you have to see, this works only if you're decoupled from the structure. If I come in an organization, say, and you are on a sprint planning session, and then you ask, oh, how much time have you dedicated for the sprint? I say, oh, 30% of time. I say, fuck, that's not good. You're not. It's mean here, when you make a planning, you don't ask how much time. It means everyone is 100% dedicated to the project. If it's not possible, stop the project. Maybe you have too much on the plate. All right? That's number 4. We still have 8 left. Right? And 24 minutes. So I go faster. This is something I call proto-scrum. This is when I started 12 years ago. When they say, oh, we're doing Agile here. I say, okay, fine. This was the company who hired me. I say, oh, but we are doing here. And yeah, no, we don't care about the product owner. Because product owner is the voice of the customer. It's not us. You're laughing, but that's every day, right? Oh, we don't care about product owners. These are the customer, right? It's the customer. It's not us, because we are doing engineering. So you just make yes and no clicking buttons and say, okay, come on. It's nothing. But this is here how it looks. Still decoupled for the customer. And here the main difference is here, we start knowing the users. Because my project manager start in the conversation with the customer, say, oh, have you heard about user stories? For user stories, I need users. Oh, curiously, because it's in the name, right? You're laughing, but you all understand what I mean, right? And so we start understanding the users, because even the customer cares now about the users. Interesting part. That's proto-Scrum. Old Scrum. We still are not a Scrum. Old Scrum is here. Oh, cool. Then you have the users and the customer working all together. You can't see the boundaries here, but this is boundary here. So we have one system here and a second system here, right? So we have still the subsystem with the team here and with the Scrum Master talking with the product owner, and product owner interacting with here the customer, and who can interact directly with the users, right? Or you can add layers. You can add kind of the business process manager and the users, UX service designer, and just to create more layers to protect yourself to be annoyed by the users, because you're a hard worker and you know better than the users how their business are working. That's also a real case. This is where you feel ashamed about your colleagues. All right, that's point number 6. This is Scrum, how Scrum should look like. Big difference, have you seen the difference? The product owner is now working with the team, is not outside the team. Yes, this is how it should look like. A Scrum team is a product owner and a Scrum Master, and it's not an authority. It's just your colleague who knows how to speak to them, because he's good in that, because you're good in something else. And a Scrum Master is good in fooding yourself, protecting yourself, overhanging yourself. It's good, right? Having mommy in the team, right? That's good. I'm a Scrum Master. I'm a mom, right? So, so this sounds obvious here. The difference in results are huge. Are huge. If you have this, meaning this is my product owner sitting in a team, even in dailies. In my teams, I had daily meetings because we were distributed not 15 minutes, 30 minutes. No 3 questions, because I do not care about the 3 questions. But I say, point 1, hey, I'm Mirella. She was in Bucharest. I worked on this topic last week. Yesterday, I sent it to Steffi. Steffi, customer. Hey, morning, Mirella. Here's Steffi in a daily. I checked. It's done. It's complete. I'm fine for me. Done. And then everybody shouting, done. This is insane. This is the team. I love this team. And all the meetings were this way. Because it was nobody wanted to spoil it. Nobody wanted. It was really the team's meeting, but everyone was listening, and you have really the feeling we're all looking the same way, the same direction. It's a very good feeling. All right. We still have 5 left. 90 minutes, good. After Scrum, this is what I call Agile. Agile is one only system when you have customer, users, and the team. Exactly the example I show you. On all meetings, everyone is invited. Everyone can come. That's not a big deal. And the people are feeling, for them is, all these guys, it is obvious how we make it. And this creates a complete different feeling how it works. This is a goal. Who is working in life science here? Nobody this way because I have no reaction here. It's not because you're napping, but it's because nobody's from life science. Life science is a creepy flip, controls everywhere. So if you say, I open it like this in life science, you say, ooh, not possible. It's possible. You have to do it differently because context matters always, right? Number 9, I call it le switch or the switch because actually, I never cared about these guys. I always cared about these guys because this is where the money comes. This is where from the compliance comes. If I focus here, we can be bankrupt but compliant. Here, we can make a lot of money, not compliant, but because we are able to pay the fines. Different world. Or this is whatever, and this is Tesla, right? I'm a Tesla driver, I know, fun, but okay, creepy. Anyways. What? Yeah. Yeah. An interesting fact you have 2 years ago from Boston Consulting Group, I was part of it, I got here some newsletter, is nobody wants to be a manager. Nobody really wants to be a manager. It's crazy, right? And you have to be a manager because for your career, for the pride of the family, whatever, you have to go there. But if you get the money without the title, good, no? Because you create value. You have to understand, these guys are working to pay these guys. So why do we focus here and not here? Le switch. And here is, I want that my manager moves from a directive posture to a supportive posture. So we can say, okay, this is what we know, servant leadership. I don't want to have only servant leaders. I want to having constructive irritant. Constructive irritant is somebody who owns the vision, who can say, yes, okay, good point, now I don't like it. Can you make it differently? Is I come back, I give a feedback, which is a feedback, not my opinion, but is I got you, can you do the other way around? That is a constructive irritant. So we need to have 2 roles. If you just have servant leaders, you're wrong. Because this is good for social workers. We are in the business context, right? So we have to have people with a vision. And the people with a vision are usually so-so, right? A good engineer is, character-wise, is on a limit, right? On a verge. But that's okay. Crazy family, crazy people. We are building Adam's families, right? This is, okay. I'm crazy too, so. How I get there? So our phase number 9, I start doing a team of managers where their purpose is to manage. Because one big problem is we are working, if you focus on individualism, it's not on the teamwork. And the big thing in Agile is teamwork. That's a big challenge. So here my purpose is my team's here, my other teams, so I remove this part here, and this team here, their purpose is to support here. And I'm more doing something like program management, you know, or portfolio management, even what we call people manager. If you understand the kind of methodology is called Agile at Scale, which is the ING bank border thing, this is the new trendy thing, so are we doing more on that SAFe, make it simpler? We add on the top of SAFe OKRs, and we add more Spotify model, which is creating more structure in a structure to make it better. It's more like this, because when you create here like people management part, you are supportive. I'm not directive. So in my company, I'm more in this part. But it's not bringing value. So I'm personally, I'm in this part only when my subordinates ask me for help. Or maybe once a week, I make a catch-up. How are you doing? Need some help? Oh, you want to be at my place? Good. Okay, what can we do to get a place? Last time I coached somebody to leave the company. Not because of me, because she found the only solution is to move away. I say, okay, then if you want to move away, let's go through your LinkedIn profile, let's go through it. Helping is helping. It's not the individual. It's not towards you, individual for the company. It's the individual. Point number 9, that's it. Point number 10 is, I call it the hack. The hack. Because the hack is, these guys are no longer talking with these guys. These guys are directly talking with God. Right? You don't need the saints or go to Rome or whatever, Pope or whatever. You talk directly to God. You're connected, right? Where is my Jesus from this morning? Yeah, this is quite interesting because they're talking directly. So it means they become empowered. This you get empowered through 2 layers usually. When you start being empowered or owning the portfolio, we start owning the program management. Because you start speaking money. And you're able to speak money because we have one guy, also a product owner, but you're speaking about, hey, this is the budget, and we are not doing all the project in parallel. When this is done, we start the next one. At the beginning, but you start to organize yourself this way. So it's another project in the projects, another layers. This is understand to notice that the role of these guys, they'll be happy that these teams are working to create the value, but a program has a different goal. Even the board of directors have a different goal. For a board of executive directors, their goal is to work with the shareholders, not with the stakeholders. And that's okay. And work you're providing for them is business as usual. So we had to put them away from this so they can focus on what creates the value for the company, working with shareholders. Then maybe people are working for something else. So when you build a car, you have a program, the car, then you have a sub-program, engine, driver's seat, whatever. Then you have multiple components, right? But there's still people responsible for the quality of this. It doesn't mean you're responsible for the whole life. You may be responsible for 1 week or 2 weeks, and that's okay. But how to get there is up to you. I'm on track. 11. Now we are going into an Agile organization. In my Agile organization is mostly focusing on this. And this part we can say, okay, to get this done, I need then also maybe people doing something else, like doing the business as usual, keeping on track that my computer is working, having all the kind of HR stuff that you cannot automatize. And you are thinking, when I'm working with this, let's say we have these teams that working, we are focusing on this part. This is here, we can say reducing the waste. I don't like the term, because it's not waste. It's another kind of job. So we are focusing here in the digitalization, or digitization, or digital word is, how can we automatize this? Not automatizing this. This is the part we have to automatize. This is all the part when you're coming up about, oh shit, I have this to do. There's, oh, I have management report to do, yeah. I have timesheet to complete, yeah. For the whole team, oh. Right, you see, this is a nightmare. All this HR improvement scoring, 360s, all this kind of regulation stuff, you can automatize this. And this is where you focus. And you see, when you come here, you say, oh, well, I need your help, and you come with your colleagues, how to do it. You discover people automatize this and not this. You say, you're all wrong. They say, who are you to tell me? I'm Pierre Neis, half-god of Agile organizations. Because the other half is here. Yeah, I'm cheering you, right? Okay. And point 12, the last time, is the extension. This is the extension. This is based on a model which is called the Stern-Stewart model. This is a model that comes up in the evolution of digital world in finance. And when I see it, I say, oh, that's a cool model. Exactly what I studied digital platforms, so also in small university. And you say, this is exactly what you do. So we have here teams. Team of teams, you have in the middle, you have my teams of executives or whatever, which are working on a portfolio, and these guys are called the Plexus. The Plexus is just the main core, just caring about what brings the most value of the company, and are acting like a private equity. Private equity means I have a collection of projects in progress, are tracking time to accomplishment, maybe actuals, more at what moment in time do we lose money, at what moment in time do we earn money, at what moment can I sell it? And they can sell or buy teams like in a merger and acquisition. Because maybe your team becomes so big that maybe, okay, do another company. We are spending money for you to do another company. Because it's a little bit different parallel of a core business. This is how you grow. This company is organic growth. And here, platform. Platform is all the tools that you need to work. So 10 years ago, we used to have a lot of IT departments of banks. When they start to be autonomous, we want to be autonomous, we want to be here, we have a new name, so we can serve all the banks from the other company, or maybe sell a solution to other banks, right? But this is something we have. This is in 12. To wrap up this thing, 8 minutes left, so we'll have a couple of Q&A. What means Agile? My Agile is, you have to define, ask yourself the question, what kind of Agile do you want? What kind of Agile your team want, that you're in Agile? And then, how far would you like to go? Because when you say, I want to have a full Agile, you want to. Nobody wants to go to AO, to be honest, complete AO, because it's way too disruptive. But maybe you can start, but don't stay in agility. You have to start moving. And sometimes you're in agility, then you come back, then maybe you're moving, and that's okay. It's to understand what kind of strategy I can use to unlock one situation, right? So we were starting, so start first bottom up, and then top down. If you do like the big consulting company which I was part of, we just make the management happy, and it brings no value because you're spending millions. And after 1 or 2 years, you have no results, and then you can start to complain, what is the return on investment of Agile transformation? Is your pain. You did it the wrong way because nobody cared about the teams in execution. Agile is all about the teams in execution. And you have to deliver first. If you don't deliver, you have nothing to speak about. You can't have feedback. If you say, oh, we're still planning, Agile is farmer's job. I'm coming to you this morning, or maybe Monday. I give you €1 in hand. I come in next week and ask you, what have you done with my money? I'm analyzing a situation. Give me my money back. Right? So we have to deliver each time something. So it's about to have a conversation. And you should be able to say, oh, we failed. Say, okay, you deliver something, but I see you're doing things, right? So you get to create the confidence. So deliver, and then manage the demand, then manage the capacity, then manage the capability, and then manage the whole organization. If you don't deliver, you're dead. So if you're a startup, you come and say, oh, we are a startup, we do nice things. What's the last time you delivered? Oh, not delivering yet. We're not ready yet. Okay, when did you start? 2 years ago. What the fuck are you doing? Because it's creating stress. So Agile, the way is a balance between business, engineering, and management structure. It's a win-win-win situation. If you're doing too much engineering, you will have a crappy business outcome. If you're doing just business, you will have a bad quality. If you just be compliant, like I do DevSecOps something, right? You're just compliant, you deliver nothing. It's a balance. So as an Agile coach, you're managing the status quo. And all the conversation we're having on negotiation. So if I'm a leader in this kind of situation, I have to be good in negotiation. I'm more a diplomat. And this makes a huge difference. This is how you change your habits, how you work to ensure that people are empowered. Agile is a system allowing a behavior called Agile. The nature of that system is what we say complex. Operation and business are the most easy part. It is. And you start usually talking just with the business part. Then you say, oh, it's not possible, it's business. After a month, best friend. After 2 months, management starts coming, hey, they're working only for business, not for us. You have this kind of child relationship. Okay, wait a month. The next time you will also get something. So your brother is also happy, right? Parent-child relationship. And then you go that step by step. But the first, business, then management. So we deliver, when we deliver, and when we make a planning in Agile, when you deliver, we deliver first the needs, and then the requirements. Because we can be bankrupt and compliant. Okay, no management, only leadership. And we call here shared leadership, multiple layers leadership. That's another topic. This is another topic I work with friends from University of Chicago. Is about if you're self-empowered, you should be your own leader. And this is kind of more another topic. So management is something you can automatize, right? Leadership is not. You have a vision, you know what to do. Do you want more? The best book ever. If you die tomorrow and you have read this, you will be in hell. So this is all the kind of things you can find me. Even if I work for Cognizant Digital Solution, I'm doing also research. I have think tank groups about organization evolution of leadership, all these kind of things. So all the creepy things, and don't think that you have to smart. We have a question before, at what moment in time change starts? Change starts with you and now. Thank you so much. More.
Merci beaucoup, vielen Dank. Ačiū. And now we are open for questions. I saw a lot of agreeable nods. Let's check how agreeable we are when we ask questions. Okay, the first question goes here.
Yeah, thanks. A very nice presentation, a lot of useful tips. I have a question which comes from the another end. If you imagine a startup company of two guys.
Guys, show a little bit more respect. So if you're leaving, please can you keep quiet so we can have a conversation here? Thank you.
That's fine. So basically startup company, two guys, and growing very fast, very flat, very customer oriented, and then they understand that, oh well, it's 150 people, and we need to manage, and people keep asking, so who is my boss? A lot of people around. Well, yeah, and the question comes from another end. So who is responsible for sales? Oh, probably that part of the office, right? And they start to ask for a structure. So we're going in another direction from the flat and agile, but we need a kind of structure. And what would be your advice how to do it properly to not come, from that to A?
I was anxious when you say wise, because I'm looking 57, but my brain is 4.5 years old, right? And I guess the best solution is, and that's a very good question, because it's about you thinking about what's the high purpose. You're going to a very high level, metaphysics level, philosophical level. What's the high purpose? Does it make sense to everyone? Is that high purpose the high dream? And do you have you as a single person part of that high dream? And then I will ask people, say, now can we sit together and do design all 200 guys? Where are we going? Where are you doing? So when I do these quarterly planning sessions, with 200 guys, and you make, okay, this is what we want to do. So one is coming, we want to achieve these goals. Okay. Then you ask the team, hey guys, is it achievable or is it dreaming, right? So then a challenge. Then you have, in the same meeting, we have the customer challenging. Yeah, but I want to have this. Good. Then after call, we have an alignment. Then I ask the question, okay, where are the dependencies? Then I try, should we keep the teams this level? Or we have to switch teams to avoid the dependencies? Because maybe I discovered that you're working in one team, but in another team is your skills are needed. Maybe you have to work in 2 teams. Say, shift. It means here my organization is shifting the next time. It means I have the boundaries, what is called company, still in place, but in these boundaries, I'm able to shift. We're still shifting like this. You're not shifting every day. You have to shift, let's say, every quarter, 3 months. You can shift 1 month, but usually that's very heavy because it's like Titanic. The problem with Titanic is I see the iceberg in 3 kilometers. Oh, it's too late, we're dying. I have this all inertia. But if my Titanic is just a collection of swift boats, you're going through like a snake, right? It's not a big deal. The idea is keeping this, you are small teams, and sometimes you're dealing together, sometimes you're not dealing together. So it's quite of anthropomorphic. Was it an answer?
Well, yeah, it's fine. Thanks.
So if you want to have a long, complicated answer, ask me.
Pierre will be around. We have to show some respect to online users and online visitors. Shall we have 1 or 2 questions? We're almost out of time anyway. From the online.
Yes. So from Huva, we have first question: Is Agile turning into the monster it promised to destroy 20 years ago? Should I repeat? I can repeat.
Yeah.
Is Agile turning into the monster it promised to destroy 20 years ago?
It was never been a monster. No, the problem is very curious. Because Agile was used to be this kind of hippie thing, oh, we're all too fun, I want to make here fun. And now we have the people say, fun, you discover it's just marketing, right? You don't believe in this story. But it's working together. So, but we discover doing this kind of hippie thing, we brought discipline in the way you're organizing the project. We never had that good projects. We never had that good organization. We come to speak about organization development, which was a nightmare. I'm part of the European Organization Design Group. They speak about things, or you're speaking about requisite organizations, about the multiple layers because it's okay. It's a waste of time, 50 years ago, not working in system thinking approach. No, it's a response, but we have to be better. But we are increasing because we are learning every day. And maybe tomorrow you say, Pierre, what you told us in Vilnius was just crap. I say, good, come on, you smart ass, right? But it's good, this is how it works. Happy with the answer?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Round of applause to Pierre.
Thank you. And you can continue napping now.
And we have another session coming in 6 minutes, all right? So don't go too far.
And we have a gift to thank you a lot
yes,
for
and
amazing.
a small present.